Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Shrutika and today let us continue with the third part of our chapter, Mineral Nutrition in Plants. So in our previous classes we have covered what is mineral nutrition, how the mineral nutrition takes place in plant and which are the essential nutrients. Then we have seen what are the deficiency symptoms, and also we have covered the transportation, then toxicity of this mineral nutrition in plants. And we have also seen what is nitrogen, why nitrogen is important in plant, and how the nitrogen cycle happens in our atmosphere. So today we will see how biological nitrogen fixation happens in plants. So what is biological nitrogen fixation? So biological nitrogen fixation, it is the reduction of nitrogen to ammonia by living organism is called as biological nitrogen fixation. So here the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere is converted to ammonia by the living organism, hence it is called as biological nitrogen fixation. And the enzyme nitrogenase is present in this organism which is called as the nitrogen fixer. So the enzyme which is required for the reduction of nitrogen to ammonia is present in the organism, and hence organism can fix the nitrogen to ammonia in the plant, and hence this process is called as biological nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen fixing microbes may be present in symbiotic, that is rhizobium, that is the rhizobium is the relation between the organism is called symbiotic when both the organism are benefited by each other. So this rhizobium bacteria which is there present in the soil will form root nodules in the plant's roots, and then it will help in nitrogen fixation to the plants. Then there are free living which are not in a symbiotic relation but they are there present in the soil, that is Nostoc, Azotobacter and Anabaena. So these are what free living microorganisms which can fix nitrogen in the soil. So symbiotic biological nitrogen fixation includes leguminous bacteria relation in which rod-shaped rhizobium lives with symbiotic relationship with the nodules of leguminous plants. Central portion of the nodule is pink or red due to presence of leguminous hemoglobin or leg hemoglobin. So these are the organisms which can fix nitrogen in the plants. So how this biological nitrogen fixation, that is symbiotic nitrogen fixation, happens in plants? So this happens through a nodule formation. Through what? Through the rhizobium bacteria. So in this nodulation involves sequence of interaction between the roots and the rhizobium bacteria. So how this happens in the plant? So let us know the sequence of how nodule formation happens. If there is nodule formation, then only the rhizobium bacteria which is there will be able to colonize itself in the root and will be able to fix the nitrogen to ammonia which will be supplied to the plant later. So that is why this nodulation is very important in the plant. So let us see how this nodulation happens in the plant. So rhizobium increase in number and attach to the epidermis of the root. So we all know that roots, outer layer of the root is called as the epidermis. So as the concentration of this bacteria increases in the soil, it will get attached to the epidermis of the root. Then the root hair curls and the bacteria invades in, and infectious thread is formed that carries the bacteria into the cortex of the root. Then the root the bacteria which is there, it will form a thread like structure, and then it will invade the epidermis and then reach the cortex of the root. Then nodule formation start in the cortex of the root. Bacteria is released from the thread to cells which leads to formation of specialized nitrogen fixing cells. These nodules establish direct vascular connection with the host for exchange of nutrients, and nodule contains all necessary biochemical components like enzyme nitrogenase and leg hemoglobin. Enzyme nitrogenase is a MOFE protein, that is molybdenum iron protein, and catalyzes the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. So this is how enzyme nitrogenase helps in the fixation of the nitrogen to ammonia. So this is how the nodule formation happens, so that the bacteria can invade the plant roots and then colonize itself inside the roots and then help in the formation of this ammonia and uptake of the nitrogen. So let us see how this happens using a diagram. So first thing what happens here is, this is the soil and these are the root hair. So the soil particles, there are bacteria. So the bacteria which is present in the soil particle will first invade. So as the concentration of bacteria increases, they will first invade the outer layer of the cell, that is the epidermis. Hence, as they approach the epidermis, the root hair will curl. So it will form a hook-like. So it will start curling. So once it is curling, what happens is this bacteria forms a thread which will move from the epidermis to the cortex of the cell. So this is the cortex part of the cell. And once they reach the cortex part, the thread will start releasing the bacteria inside the cortex cell, and there it will start colonizing and will form a mature nodule inside the cortex of the root hair. So this is how nodule formation happens in the plant. And then once they establish their colonies inside the root hair, they will start forming the ammonia from the nitrogen that they will take in by the enzyme nitrogenase. So this is how the process of biological nitrogen fixation takes place in plants, by the symbiotic association of Rhizobium bacteria with the root hair. Now let us see how this atmosphere, we have seen how the bacteria invades inside the root, then how it will colonize, and then it will change the nitrogen to ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. Okay, but how this reaction is happening? So let us see how the reaction of nitrogen, conversion of nitrogen to ammonia happens with the help of enzyme nitrogenase. So this is how the reaction takes place. So the first, what happens is, there is a enzyme and the substrate is what now over here. We know that enzyme substrate complex to form a new product. So over here the product will be what? Ammonia. And what is the substrate? The substrate is nitrogen. So nitrogen gas, that is N2. And what is the enzyme? Enzyme which is helping in this process is nitrogenase enzyme. So this N2 which is there in the atmosphere will get attached to the enzyme nitrogenase and it will form a enzyme substrate complex. Then what will happen is reduction, wherein there will be two molecules of hydrogen which will get attached to the nitrogen. Again there will be reduction and more two molecules of hydrogen will come and attach to the nitrogen. Again there will be reduction and there will be more two molecules of hydrogen attaching to the nitrogen which is present in the enzyme substrate complex. Over here now 6 molecules of hydrogen gets attached to the nitrogen which is attached to the enzyme nitrogenase. So what happens now is 3 molecules of nitrogen will get attached to one nitrogen, 3 molecules of hydrogen will get attached to one nitrogen, and 3 molecules of hydrogen will get attached to the other nitrogen which is there, because it is nitrogen which consists of 2 atoms, 2 molecules of nitrogen, that is N2. So 3 hydrogen atoms will get attached to one nitrogen and 3 hydrogen atoms will get attached to the other nitrogen, and hence they will form what? NH3, which is the ammonia. So from a single nitrogen, that is from a nitrogen gas, that is N2, will form 2 molecules of ammonia. Okay, so then once the product is formed, it is released and the enzyme is then left, so that it is now free for the other nitrogen atoms to bind and again form the ammonia. So this cycle continues till the amount of nitrogen is present in the plant. So this is how the nitrogen is converted to ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. So this was about biological nitrogen fixation. So we have seen how biological nitrogen fixation happens in plant, which are the organism which helps in biological nitrogen fixation, and which is the reaction, that is steps or mechanism of nitrogen fixation, that is conversion of nitrogen to ammonia by the enzyme nitrogenase. So thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the Bodhi Academy.